Prince Harry apparently wants to return to the UK.
Is he all right upstairs?
I bet he does. The cynic in me thinks perhaps this is about selling even more books. The paperback of his memoir, Spare, comes out in a few weeks. He's apparently agreed not to update it, but they must be strapped for cash after a string of financial disasters. His American dream is well and truly over, and frankly, I'm not surprised. The Netflix deal appears to be crumbling. An America Riviera orchard, Meghan's brand, has hit, shall we call it, technical problems. Did he really think that turning his back on the country that gave him his privilege and dissing his family, the royal family, would work in his favour? What planet is he on? Prince Harry has become a global embarrassment. While Spare may well have been one of the fastest-selling biographies ever, it came at a cost. In my eyes, he lost the very last shreds of credibility and dignity which had been hanging on via weak, thin straws after a series of missteps, starting with that interview with Oprah, where someone in the royal family had the allegation of racism thrust upon them.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
An allegation both he and Meghan did not correct until a few years later, after the late Queen had died, thereby gaslighting the world and causing untold emotional damage to the mental health of his family. He's supposed to be an advocate for that, for goodness sake.
Boy.
Unconscious bias, he called it, and blamed the British press for the misrepresentation. Everything he does appears to be either for money or publicity. America are sick of him. They're laughing.
What the hell?
Lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book, Where? Yes, that's right, friend. You see, my wife and I are totally like, you should write a book because your family like stupid, and then so are like journalists.
I don't like where this is going.
I never get tired of that. It's hilarious. The other month, Harry collected the Pat Tillman Award against the wishes of Pat's mother. Her brave son was killed by friendly fire after giving up his lucrative sporting career to defend his country. And the other month, Harry was given the award for his work with Invictus. He claimed he was collecting the award for the brave veterans.
And I'd like to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to everyone at the Pat Tillman Foundation, led by Marie Tillman-Shenton, who I'm so honoured is here tonight.
Okay.
I'd also like to acknowledge the Tillman family, especially Mrs. Mary Tillman, Pat's mother. Her advocacy for Pat's legacy is deeply personal and one that I respect.
Are you sure about that?
The bond between a mother and son is eternal and transcends even the greatest losses.
Yeah, he's now apparently coming grovelling back cap in hand. I wonder why. It's been termed Operation Bring Harry In From the Cold. And according to the Daily Mail, he's reached out to his old mates to help facilitate. It's not clear whether Meghan will be with him if his mission succeeds, but I suspect William will have a few words to say about that one.
Come on now, dawg.
If the Sussexes want to return, Harry needs to make a massive apology. Bring his kids to meet his father, and same goes for Meghan. And I can't see that happening, though, can you?
What do you mean by that?
Some might say that he wants to genuinely build bridges and seek forgiveness after the hell that he and his wife have unleashed on their families. He's seen the error in his ways, but I believe that when I see it. No, I think this is a ploy to ensure the sales of his Spare paperback, which is out in a matter of weeks, in the hope that people will talk about him and make him relevant again.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In my view, that ship has sailed. The worldwide privacy tour is over. The question is, would you welcome him home?
I don't know.
But first, let's talk Operation Bring Harry In From the Cold, as apparently, as it's underway, that's what the Daily Mail are reporting. Prince Harry is seeking advice from former aides on how he should return to the country.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
After spending the past 4 years in a self-imposed exile in California, allegedly growing dissatisfied with advice from American-based image experts, of which I think they've had about 10. But joining me now is royal broadcaster Helena Shard. Helena, welcome to the programme. So Prince Harry...
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So Prince Harry Apparently, Operation Bring Harry In from the Cold. Do you feel there's any truth to this?
You know, I'm trying to find out who the trusted former aides are and who's been talking to who. I haven't got there yet, but lots of tongues are wagging, Nana. I mean, you know, we heard that he was at the memorial for Lord Robert Fellows, and obviously William was there as well. And so there was lots of, you know, everyone going into overdrive. That was in Stattisham, Norfolk the other day. He wasn't going to attend, said the People, mouthpiece of his. And obviously, it hadn't have been proven by so many different people, including family friends, I would have actually thought that maybe a lookalike had turned up.
What? What the?
You know, and I absolutely, you know, it still does make me wonder. It was obviously a discreet entrance, etc. But now we have been led to believe that Harry's been talking to people from friends from his old life. And it's not that he wants to make a permanent move to the UK. So I believe, from what I can see, you know, from what I've heard, it's more about his reputation. You know, as we know, we've heard that somebody who is absolutely fantastic left his team at the end of last year. And that was all to do with reputation management. And as we know, he needs help.
Yeah, right.
They need help.
well, he wants to have his cake and eat it, by the sounds of it. I mean, obviously, no good cake remains uneaten, but he clearly wants to have the luxury of being royal, but I don't think he wants to do the work.
Wait for it. Here it comes. Almost there.
Absolutely. I mean, goodness me, he needs help. We know that the royal family is his currency. I mean, even his late mother, you know, obviously he's almost usurped her memory, and he needs this. He needs this to make money, and things are not going his way. Things are not necessarily going their way. Is this about initiating a return to the royal family? Who knows? We'll wait and see. Does he want to spend more time in the UK? We've been led to believe he doesn't want to, yet he does.
That doesn't make sense.
And we have the court case that's going ahead. And of course, he raced in to Lord Robert Fellows' memorial service. So there's lots of ambiguous behaviour. And he is going to be, you know, in New York. We call it the silly season, don't we? And we're also looking, there's lots of different stories that are coming out. But he needs to sell stuff. He's going to be in New York.
Yeah.
And it's
You could do so. You want.
Yeah, but we've got to remember the enormous amount of hurt and offence. I mean,
Exactly.
Prince William absolutely reeling. Poor Princess Catherine. You know, Spare book coming out at the most awful time. And you've got the Netflix.
Shut up, bro.
Series.
It's absolutely, this is a rehabilitation strategy.
Well, there's still. I mean, look, he's still. You know, I mean, they're still doing these faux royal tours as well, which is just unspeakable. Helena Shard, thank you very much. Really good to talk to you. That's Helena Shard.
Fact.
Okay, but we'll move on to a story which is making, it seems to be gaining traction, particularly amongst the press, but in an interesting way, because clearly the Daily Mail, who have very good royal sources, are leading on this today. And it is of interest. I think it will annoy a great many people who can't get over it. In fact, so many of you got online straight away going, no!
Is he all right upstairs?
In that sort of slow motion way. And it's because there is really big news that Prince Harry wants to come back in some way to the UK.
Wow.
And is beginning now to court advice from British advisors. In fact, as you were saying earlier, he apparently on WhatsApp has been getting hold of old friends who haven't heard from him in several years. But he's WhatsApping them, asking their advice, and apparently has either already taken on board a British PR company or is at least at the moment seeking advice to do that.
Good job.
in order, in a way, to maybe very slowly rehabilitate himself and his image in the UK.
The question is that possible? Well, this major move is being branded as Operation Bring Harry In from the Cold, as he's allegedly growing dissatisfied from advice from American-based image experts.
Well, let's talk to the historian and author Martin Whittock, who joins us now. Martin, do you agree that actually it feels like we're being warmed up?
Let me put it in a language you can understand.
Yes, I think so. As you intimated just now, there's reports of them just not getting on well in the Californian exile. Reports of self-imposed exile, I should add. Reports of the couple having parted company with another American PR advisor. It seems this is the 10th staff member to have left the Sussexes in 3 months.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
In August, it was reported that their chief of staff had left after just 3 months. So clearly, things are not working out in the USA for the Sussexes as they originally planned. And interestingly, there are also reports that the King has discussed the matter with faith leaders, showing that he is open to some kind of reconciliation.
Gay!
But boy, this is going to be quite an ask and quite a journey after the turmoil and hurt over the past 4 years. And it's difficult to see exactly what the plan would be, although there's talk of low-key royal duties, starting from maybe some very, very non-public facing things, but basically a steep mountain to climb to win hearts and minds back of the public, let alone within the royal family.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
There's talk that William, Prince of Wales, and Harry are both due to be in New York this September on separate ventures, both environmentally connected. So there may be some kind of low-key connection there.
Okay.
But this is going to be an extremely long journey back after all the Sussexes have said and done over the last 4 years. Not an easy ask to come in from the cold in this particular case, I'm afraid.
Is reconciliation possible, do you think, Martin, not only with his father, not only with his brother, but also with the British public? Because looking at our views today, lots of people emailing in just saying it's too little too late. He's made his bed now and he's got to lie in it.
Yeah, right.
I think you've identified 3 main areas there, and they are crucial. Addressing them one at a time, I think it would be possible to seek reconciliation with his father. It's clear that King Charles is deeply distressed, understandably, by this rift within the family.
Fact.
I could see reconciliation taking place there, if slowly. It's harder to envisage it happening with William, Prince of Wales. Obviously, I mustn't speak for him, because the wounds there have gone very, very deep, and the kind of things that Harry has claimed there will clearly have wounded his brother greatly. With regard to the British public, well, that really is going to be, in some ways, the hardest ask of all, because from the enthusiasm which accompanied, in many quarters, the marriage of Harry and Meghan, what seemed like light years ago, don't they? Such a long time ago, the fall in popularity because of the actions of the Sussexes, I think more than any other factor, has been quite precipitous.
What do you mean by that?
And I think the idea of building that trust with the British public again is going to take a very, very, very long time indeed, if in fact those burnt bridges can be rebuilt. So the King, I think, yes, that's possible. I think it's going to be very difficult with William, but boy, it's going to be a very long journey with the British public, and it's going to take quite a lot of contrition, I think, on behalf of the Sussexes.
Are you serious?
I don't think it's just a question of coming back to low-scale duties and then slowly building them up again. I think people will be looking for some acceptance of responsibility on their part for the state that they've come to. But faith leaders will no doubt have told the King that reconciliation is to be sought if possible, and I would agree with that if it's possible, but boy, what a journey.
Bruh, chill.
Yes, but you have to sort of conclude that maybe anything's possible when you look at the journey of Camilla. who is now Queen, and I know there are people watching right now who still don't accept that.
Yes, exactly.
And will never forgive her. But you probably have to accept that the majority of people do and have forgiven her. Mind you, she's never said a word, unlike Harry. But maybe Harry has begun to recognise that this will be a long, slow process, and he might as well start it now, because it may take over a decade.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
I think you make a very good point there, because Queen Camilla is really a lesson in reconciliation and in journey back from what would have been a very, very, very low point following the death of Princess Diana. But you also make the point there, and I think absolutely rightly so, that Queen Camilla has been extremely discreet. She has not gone public. She's not claimed other people are to blame for this. And obviously Harry has been very vociferous, as has Meghan, which is why I think there will need to be at some stage in this journey, and I stress a long journey if it's to happen at all,
I don't like where this is going.
some significant degree of contrition from the Sussexes. Basically, in spiritual terms, repentance comes before restoration, and I think we must not forget that R, repentance, as well as the other R, restoration.
Stop it. Get some help.
I just can't see how it's going to happen, because I can understand Harry coming back, because I think, bottom line, don't we still have some sort of love for him? But I can't see Meghan ever saying sorry, can you?
Women.
And that, I think you're absolutely right, because basically there are a number of what you might call wars that have been constructed on this road to recovery. And that will be, in many ways, the highest wall of all, and probably the most difficult one for the Sussexes to surmount. Yes, that's rather difficult to imagine, isn't it? But I think unless that kind of thing happens, this is not going to work at all.